Live from the heart of New York City, it's The Morning Show with Mike and Juliet. Thursday. How far would you go to beat the real estate slump? Wait till you hear the outrageous offer one plastic surgeon has on the table to sweeten the deal.
Hey, I have a deal for you guys this morning. How about a mansion with your boob job?
Hello. Are you looking to get away for the summer? You want to come back in the fall looking hot?
Sure. Well, there's a New York plastic surgeon trying to beat the real estate slump with an offer no socialite can refuse.
You can get nipped, you can get tucked, pulled, lifted, all in the comfort of your own mansion. There is one catch, though.
It's going to cost you $500,000.
Yeah, no big deal.
The doctor is offering unlimited plastic surgery to any of New York's rich and famous willing to rent the Hamptons Getaway for a $500,000. Procedures like a facelift, breast implants, or a tummy tuck. And that's not all that's included in the surgeon's rental package. He's throwing in a nurse, chauffeur, chef, and entree to elite clubs and parties. And to top it all off, Dr. Greenberg is buying his renters a new wardrobe to show off the results of his handiwork.
Gotta meet this guy. Dr. Stephen Greenberg is sitting right there. Hi, Dr. Greenberg.
Doctor, thank you for joining us. Also with us today is the president of the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, Dr. Richard D'Amico.
And from West Palm Beach, Florida, host of HGTV's, one of our favorites, My House is Worth What? Kendra Todd
Hey,
is
Kendra.
with us.
Good to have you here, sweetie.
Dr. Greenberg, seriously, the housing market is down, 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 but plastic surgery is up, up, up. Are you trying to help the housing market with this idea?
Trying to help both a little bit. Well, what happened was patients wanted to recover in luxury. So I came up with a package that they can have cosmetic surgery within reason, and then recover with a nurse at home in a mansion with some other amenities in a real luxury package.
Who's your publicist? A good publicist.
No, this really works, though.
When you say, well, obviously, you're getting a lot of attention for this, first of all, so I can see how it benefits you in a lot of ways, but when you say within reason, I mean, that's like the ding, ding, ding. What do you mean by that? Because let's say that I want a tummy tuck, I want a breast lift, and I don't, but well, actually I do, but someday. But all of these things, you're going to tell me that I don't need all that at some point,
Absolutely.
aren't you?
The most important part of this whole program is that patients have to be treated like patients. They have to be evaluated by the plastic surgeon. They have to have normal consultations, normal preoperative evaluation, have the doctor-patient relationship,
And
which
that's
is very important.
You are the plastic surgeon.
With me, exactly. And you know, not everyone's a candidate for every procedure.
Yeah.
They may be a candidate for a tummy tuck or a facelift or a combination, but every patient's evaluated individually. This is all within medical reason.
Let's show the people around the country what we're talking about when we say the Hamptons. Most people know, but we'll give you an idea what these mansions look like. They are fantastic, right on the water. But if I have all summer from Memorial Day to Labor Day to have an unlimited amount of plastic surgery, isn't there a limit to that?
Absolutely.
What all can I get done, though?
Well, we can group different things. Some patients who particularly lose a lot of weight may want a tummy tuck or a breast lift at one time, or later on, several weeks later, a month later, a facelift or an eye lift. We group these things together and make sure that they're reasonable. And this is patient safety is absolutely #1. We have to evaluate these patients to make sure that they're candidates for the procedure.
You really have takers for this.
Absolutely.
You have clients that rich?
The interest is phenomenal from around the country, people coming in. People want to recover in luxury. This is an extension of the luxury program.
I want to know who these clients are, but before here's my question, and I'm sure cynics out there and people are concerned about the fact that maybe if you're doing these deals with these people and you say unlimited within reason, well, that's subjective. They may say, hey, look, I made a deal with you. I want this, and I want you to give it to me.
Yeah, that hasn't been a problem. We talk about this beforehand. Patients come in.
Is it in the contract before you sign everything?
Absolutely. And it's up to the discretion of myself and the patient. We talk about this. Patients come in and they say they don't want everything done. They want reasonable things done, and we fit them into the procedures that are best for them.
Dr. D'Amico, is this ethical?
I think it raises some ethical concerns, but I think most of all, I think this is a bad idea. And it's a bad idea because it increases the risk to patients for 2 reasons, and I'll go over them with you. First, we think patients should choose plastic surgeons based on credentials. And I'm not necessarily talking about Dr. Greenberg here, but we want them to choose an American Board of Plastic Surgery certified plastic surgeon, and we want them to choose the plastic surgeon based on reputation and credentials in the community for getting great results and having a good safety record, not based on a promotion. Unfortunately, around the country, we're concerned that this kind of promotion thing will be used by unqualified, untrained surgeons to attract patients. And so I'm not necessarily speaking about Dr. Greenberg, but I think it raises some real concerns for the listeners. And the second thing, Mike, is that it undermines the doctor-patient relationship.
Why?
And that can increase risk. I'll give you an example. As hard as Dr. Greenberg tries, once the patient has heard unlimited plastic surgery, that may mean one thing in her mind, and she may say, yeah, what's reasonable to the patient may not be reasonable to Dr. Greenberg as he tries to exercise good judgment. But she's paid him $500,000. He is under pressure from that. As hard as he tries, to do the right thing may be more difficult.
He could be talked into, I need a breast augmentation.
But can't any plastic surgeon be talked into that?
Well, I would hope not, and that's why we're here. The board-certified plastic surgeons learn to say no. I'm sure Dr. Greenberg wants to say no.
It seems like the folly of it is dangerous. Like it's not taken as seriously as it should be. You're going under. You're having major surgery, Dr. Greenberg.
Absolutely. This is major surgery. I completely agree with Dr. D'Amico. I think what we have to encourage the patients to go to board-certified plastic surgeons, and the doctor has to influence the patient to tell them what they think is appropriate, and we certainly can do that. This is more a luxury recovery package than anything else. This is not, we're not billing this under unlimited cosmetic surgery, but more a recovery package.
Let's go to sort of the housing part of this now and bring Kendra in. Kendra, the incentives are not an unusual thing these days, especially in this market.
No, our market went from robust to simply bust, and more people are using incentives to rent and sell homes. But wow, desperate times apparently call for desperate measures. I mean, this gives a whole new meaning to the concept of attractive incentives.
That's for sure, Kendra, but it also gives new meaning to the term bust, housing bust. But let's go through some of the incentives here.
Exactly.
You got to be careful, though, when you see these incentives, whether you're selling or buying, right? You got to see the money, right?
Absolutely. There are two types of incentives. There's effective incentives, and then there's luxury, over-the-top, gimmicky incentives.
Show me the money.
And I agree with Dr. D'Amico. People want you to show them the money. They want to know how they can reduce their bottom line. So an incentive tied to the actual property makes a lot more sense than, hey, I have $500,000 cool cash. I'm going to pluck it down and get free plastic surgery. I don't know about you, but if I have that kind of money, I probably already have the work done that I wanted to.
Yeah, you look fantastic.
Yeah. There are a bunch of other tips, and we'll give them to you online. You have to be aware of, like, well, this is tied to this and this is tied to this. But it's interesting. We're going to follow this story. We're going to see. I want to know who the takers are. Just tell me, during the commercial break. I won't tell anybody.
Thank you all very much, okay? Next up, boy, a controversial law.